Don't lose your inherited home with a reverse mortgage to foreclosure.
You're listening to Home Sellers Advantage. I'm your host, Aaron Zapata.
And I'm your other host, Todd Anderson. We are the Bald Brothers team at Impact Realty Group with Real Broker, and we are here to give you the Home Sellers Advantage.
You can find us online at www.baldbrothers.tv. Again, that's baldbrothers.tv.
Or you can call us at 833-305-BALD. That's 833-305-2253.
Now that was a mouthful, but it's a lot to talk about. Hey, welcome back to our show. We're appreciative of you and giving us your time. This is a topic that is actually inspired by a recent event.
Yeah, we were going to title this, Our Assistant Almost Got Arrested. Don't Let It Happen to You. But that would be very misleading as to what we're talking about. It would be because
we're not talking about
that. We're not talking about that.
But that happened at a house that our buyer was buying, and it got foreclosed on by the reverse mortgage bank.
Yeah, so
this is what inspired this whole episode, because we don't want this to happen to you.
Yeah, Aaron's giving you the full story before we even unpacked it.
But it's important.
But it is important. So we had a home that we were actually in escrow on. It was a reverse mortgage. So the occupant, the owner of the home, was deceased, and the home was in a reverse mortgage. And we were just days from closing escrow, and we found out through a weird string of events that the home had actually been foreclosed on, and we weren't even aware of it.
Exactly. And so that's really what inspired this, that event, right? Our buyer not being able to buy the house because it went to foreclosure. And here's the reality. When you inherit a home that is on a reverse mortgage, you do not just get to, or you don't have to just walk away from it and give the bank back the keys.
Yeah, I think that's what a lot of misconception a lot of people have with a reverse mortgage is, hey, this is a way for mom and dad or grandma and grandpa to be able to afford their home, and basically when they pass away, the home just goes back to the bank. But that's not the case.
Yeah, and that's a myth, right? There's a lot of equity in most of these homes. And so it's important to follow some steps. And Todd and I have worked with a lot of families in selling the home that has a reverse mortgage. And it is important to follow the steps, because the moment the person passes away and the last person living in the home passes away, that's either the husband or the wife, the bank sends out a notice and says, hey, we just got notification that the person died and we're going to start foreclosure proceedings. Or we can do a deed in lieu of foreclosure. You can just sign it over to us now. And in both of those options, the foreclosure or the deed in lieu are usually going to take and strip equity out of the home that is rightfully yours as the beneficiary. So let us just say it again. Don't let that happen.
Yeah.
So what should happen is this. You have to call the bank right away. And when I say you can involve a real estate agent.
Yes.
We love coming in at the early stage of this process because we've gone through it so many times. Yeah. And so we can get on record with the bank as somebody that can talk to the bank on your behalf.
That's very important. If you want to sell the estate, and the beneficiaries, of course, will receive the benefit of that, make sure you talk to a realtor who you list with that realtor, then the realtor knows and understands reverse mortgages and understands the responsibility. This is very important to get in touch with the lender and show them proof that there is a listing contract that this home is going to be sold. Yeah. Because otherwise the lender has no idea, and they might get to the point where they start foreclosure proceedings. And if you see Tom Selleck show up at your house, you've got. No, I'm just kidding. He's the one that sells all the reverse. Yeah, he does all the marketing for reverse mortgages.
Yeah, so
I had to throw that in there somehow.
Thank you. My name's not Tom, by the way. And so when you go, so you're overwhelmed, right? Yeah. Your parents just passed, or your grandparents passed, and you've inherited this home, and there's so many things to worry about. Sometimes you think, I just got to put that notice aside. I just can't deal with that right now. I've got so much other things to work with. This is where you need somebody like a professional like us that can come in and take that burden away. We put ourselves on notice with the bank so that we can communicate with the bank, and then we handle that communication. We let the bank know that the property's for sale. There are certain things that they need from us to prove that it's for sale. We comply with those requirements. We send them what they need.
Yeah.
And then we help you prepare the home for sale. We even have estate sale people and other things like that can come in and help prepare the home for sale. Now, another option, of course, if you're not going to sell it, is you can refinance the property into your name.
Yeah.
So if there's a very
keep the home
loan amount,
do a refinance. Yep.
Yeah, and keep it, right? We can help you with that too. But most people, and I was talking to a guy, and this kind of also sparked this conversation because of the event with our assistant. I started calling people that I know that are investors because this property was foreclosed upon and it sold to a third-party investor, and I'm trying to track down who bought it. Still haven't been able to do that. But in that process, I talked with an agent who gets REO properties. He gets bank-owned properties assigned to him. So after something gets foreclosed upon, it goes to market. The banks don't want to own real estate. They want to sell. They want to own loans, but they want to sell the properties. So they assign it to what's called an REO agent. And this guy said he has 9 assignments right now that are reverse mortgages.
All reverse mortgages. Yeah, it's such a common tale where people just assume, well, it just goes to the bank, so they don't do anything with it.
Yeah.
Now, there are certain timelines that happen.
Yeah.
And I don't know, should we let people know what some of those timelines are? Or
They're pretty universal.
Yeah.
So essentially the first 90 days, you have to let the bank know that you are in the process of selling it, and they want you to sell it within 90 days. And if you can't, you ask for an extension. And you can get multiple extensions throughout the year.
Yes.
But after a certain number of extensions, those expire, and they are going to proceed with a sale. So it's important to follow those steps. Obviously, in the one that we just experienced, they either did not notify the bank properly or they had run out of extensions.
Yeah. So we believe probably what happened is the bank was not properly notified of the listing. We just don't know. I mean, we don't want to share too much information of our personal story, but you say, well, how did you not know? Well, we didn't know.
Yeah,
it was never shared with us that the foreclosure proceedings had started on the property. And so we can only guess as to how it got to that point.
Yeah.
And people are saying, well, you kind of buried the lead. You talked about your assistant almost getting arrested. What's the story there? They want to know.
Sure. But before we get to that, because that is a funny part of it, some numbers on this one, which really exemplify why you don't want this to go to foreclosure.
Yeah, okay? This is important.
Yeah, we're going to give you some rough numbers because I don't want to give you the exact numbers. But let's say that your house is worth $1.5 million, and that's what it would sell for on the open market. And the reverse mortgage, let's say, only has a balance of $700,000. You can do the math. There's an $800,000 equity play there. Yeah. Now you're going to pay realtor fees and closing costs, but it's still a lot of money. Okay. The bank only cares about one number. Will somebody buy it at auction? Yeah. For at least what they owe me, which is $700,000. Yeah. So it is quite common that investors, they do some math, they go out and they look at the properties, and let's say that this particular scenario, that at the trustee sale at the courthouse steps, someone's willing to pay $1.2 million. Now that's less than 1.5 by $300,000. Yeah. And you know what the bank's going to say? We'll take
Absolutely.
it. Absolutely.
Because the loan is then completely paid off. The bank is made whole.
That's right. And so that $300,000 is left on the table. It's wiped away, really. It's not even left on the table. It's just gone. Because
the $300,000 between the 1.2 and the 1.5
exactly.
is what he's referring to. Yeah.
So you don't want that to happen to your family.
Yeah. The beneficiaries missed out in this hypothesis, this case study. The beneficiaries missed out on an additional $300,000 by allowing it to go to foreclosure. Yeah.
So we just don't want that to happen to you. Now back to the story.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm in a conference, in the middle of a conference, and my phone starts to blow up. And I'm like, what is going on? Now, you see, we're in escrow on this house.
Days from closing.
Our client decided he wanted to do one more inspection, And so we had arranged it with the agent, and we sent him and our assistant, who, by the way, this was his first week on the job.
First week on the job.
First week on the job. And
the last day of his first week on the job, he was over at the property so that the buyer could do their inspections. And then all of a sudden, somebody knocks on the door.
They knock on the door and basically say, "Who are you and why are you here?" And accuse them of trespassing.
Well, yeah.
When I say them, it's our assistant and the buyer.
They wanted to know who they were, and they said, "We're here to stop the sale of the property." And so our assistant contacted me, and I said, "Do not give them any information. I don't know who these people are.
Yeah.
But try to get a business card from them." So he went out and followed my instructions, tried to get a business card. They wanted to know exactly who he is, and he said, "I'm not at liberty to tell you who I am, but I need a business card so I can report to my boss." And that person refused to get a business card, and he said, "I'm leaving, but I'm going to call the police
and have you arrested
for trespassing."
They never called the police. Our assistant was not arrested.
Yeah,
but that
and he came back next week to continue working for us.
Yes, he still works for us. And so interesting. That's the event though that led us to think, what's happening?
Mm-hmm.
Something's amiss. There's something not going correctly. Who are these people?
Yeah.
So we started doing digging and found out that the home had been foreclosed on.
Yeah.
Which was a tragedy.
Yeah.
Because
for everybody.
For everybody.
Yeah.
Obviously in this case, it did sell for less than what we were in escrow for.
Mm-hmm.
And so my buyer is bummed because he can't get the house. They're bummed because they're going to get less as an inheritance.
Yeah.
And there's a whole bunch of attorneys involved, and it's going to be a mess.
The only people who win are the ones who were the lucky ones who won it at the auction.
Mm-hmm.
The attorneys always win.
Yeah.
Right? But everybody else, all the parties to the transaction lost out. The beneficiaries, the realtors involved, the listing agent, our buyer really wanted the property. We missed. Everybody was at a loss because of this unfortunate negligence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, Todd and I we weren't working on the listing side. We have no idea what happened.
Yeah. We did not represent the listing side on this. We represented the buyer.
But we have worked with so many sellers that we just don't want that to happen. We've never had that happen on any of our transactions.
Mm-hmm.
And we have had properties that did sell for less than the mortgage amount. And there truly was no money left for the beneficiaries.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of the questions that comes up is, well, why would I hire a realtor to do that? And that's true. You could turn it over to the property. But if you want somebody to take good care of the home in the last stages that, because out of goodwill towards your parents or whatever, it's nice to know who's actually selling the property and the process that it's going through. Otherwise, it just goes back to the bank. And who knows what happens to it from there.
Yeah.
So,
that's
so
right.
we have sold properties for less than the loan amount because that's also part of the deal.
Yeah.
They will do that. So that's why we just wanted to bring you today some information about inheriting a home with a reverse mortgage.
Mm-hmm.
Don't wait. Don't delay. Call us today. Whoa.
That's great. It's like
Don't wait.
It's
Don't
almost
delay.
like you're doing a commercial.
Call us today. The Bald Brothers team, he would love to be able to help you out.
That's
in
right.
that process. So
Because you know what we do?
we sell homes.
Yes, we do.
And until next time, thanks for listening. And God bless.
Thanks for listening to the Home Sellers Advantage. The Bald Brothers team is a licensed DBA of Real Broker, licensed by the California Department of Real Estate, number 02022-092. Again, we do not give any real estate, legal, or financial advice. If you'd like to reach out to us, you can call us at 833-305-BALD, or you can reach us online at baldbrothers.tv. Equal housing opportunity.